What's up, everybody? It's the Radio Deadly Show. The intro did not work, but that's okay. We're just going to go like this. I haven't addressed what has been said about me on social media directly, but I'm going to. I stayed away from it, and I tried not to read it. The things that have been said about me, not only in comment sections of the guys that used to be in my band, Howie, Adam, Loki, and Chris Nimvin. These guys that I spent a lot of time with, that know me, that have spent time with me, and especially Howie and Loki, especially Loki, who I've spent time with, good times with, bad times, hard times, easy times, fun times, scary times, awesome times with, all of them. These guys know me because they've spent time with me. They've seen how I react to things. They see how I interact with other people. They see how I interact with my family. They see how I interact with them. They see how I behave and the things that I do and I don't do on the road. You get a sense of somebody and who and what they are when you spend a lot of time with them and you make judgments about them. Does anybody else not think, let me put it like this. How crazy is it that almost overnight, in particular with Howie and seemingly Chris Nimvin, overnight I'm disavowed. And it's not just, hey, I'm going to distance myself. That I can deal with. But these words that have been used against me, when you call somebody those things and you charge somebody with those things that I've been called, racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, when you charge me with being in line with and advocating for and all of a sudden overnight championing hatred for different races, religions, sex, gender, sexual orientation, me discriminating against people's nationality or hating them in Chris Nimvin's little rant, or people's planet of origin. Let me say that again. Does anybody really think that I hate people from different races, people of different religions, people of whether you're a man or a woman or sexual orientation, what you think you are? I don't care. Do you think really that I hate people? I have hatred for people from other nations or planet of origin? Does anybody think that that's real? Is there any evidence other than what's being put out there, my Facebook, which you can't see anymore, my Instagram, which I can see the last bunch of posts from my Instagram. So I thought maybe there was something in there. And you know, the whole Proud Boy thing. That was the capper. I've been called a white supremacist, a Nazi. I've been threatened, deplatformed. I've worked hard, just like you. I've worked hard for 25 years. I've sacrificed a lot to build up everything that I have and everything that I had. You know, and that's one of the reasons that we need to get away from this whole social media thing, because it's not, it can't be the end all be all. It's insane. Because when Facebook becomes the whole world, everybody panders to it. You see what's happening? You've pandered to social media. You've pandered to some illusion. These social media personalities that you have, or you think you have, or that you might be making. It's fake. It's totally fake. But people like me are fighting back, because all of that and all of you are becoming obsolete and irrelevant. Me and those that I am with are pioneers. You people are lost and confused. I'll continue with the charges against me. Chris Nimvin. Well, first of all, it's my bass player. Oh, I'm so glad that I didn't screw up the audio tonight. I haven't gotten a phone call, so I'm just gonna go with the audio's okay. All right, Howie Wowie in July put up a post, his Facebook post. And I don't want to get it wrong. I only and disavowed me, said that he's not part of the band anymore. Hold on while I pull it up, because I can't see it because it's small on there and I don't want to get it wrong. So take note as well, Howie Wowie's got Black Lives Matter. We'll get to that. July 20th, and that's the last thing that has been put up, which says a lot as well. And it says that all of us in Nimvin have absolutely zero tolerance for hatred towards people of different races, religion, sex, gender, sexual orientation, nationality, or planet of origin. Let me make this abundantly clear. If you are a racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, or xenophobic, I am your enemy. Don't follow me and don't support me as a musician. Okay. So because on June 6th, I'm thinking that I'm all of those things, that you all think that I'm those things. In light of recent events, this is June 6th, when the guys first quit. This was after Black Lives Matter, and I wouldn't participate in the putting the black square on my social media, because it's just a lie that you've all fallen for. In light of recent events, Michael won't put a black box on it and go along with this brainwashing. I will no longer be playing bass for Michael Graves. The views expressed by Michael recently go against everything I believe, and as a father cannot in good conscience continue on performing in his band. I want it to be known that I in no way think Michael is a hateful person. I believe that on the subjects he discussed, he has been misinformed and spoke out without knowing what he was talking about. So that's crazy, actually, because this last post that is up here on Facebook from Howie Wowie is July 20th. I'd like to know how many times Howie Wowie has spoken out or discussed any of these subjects that I am misinformed about, or I don't know what I'm talking about. If I have misspoken about something in particular that can be specifically pointed to, that would that would give any sort of credence for anyone to make any sort of allegation whatsoever that I am racist, sex, or involved with, or condone, or have ever given even a secret little nod toward anything that has anything to do with any person or organization that is overtly or covertly racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, somebody or anything, people that hate races, other religions, sex, gender, sexual orientation, whatever. This is crazy because then it talks about Howie first meeting me in 2018 and how we met, blah, blah, blah. During that time, I never heard Michael say a single hurtful thing about anyone. His message was always one of love and inclusion, and not once did he even make a joke about race, sexuality, gender, or religion. I'm not a perfect person. I do make jokes. I looked up to Michael's hard-working attitude, appreciation of the fans, and how he always gave each performance everything he had. After I joined his band, I was proud of the fact that we were a multinational crew made up of multiple ethnicities, political stances, and religious beliefs. And yet we were so tight-knit. We had true chemistry, and I believe the fans who said we were the best lineup Michael Graves ever had. We were really great. I am truly heartbroken of this chapter of my life has come to an end. I wish nothing but the best for Michael, Loki, and Arturo. I will not be responding to questions or comments at this time. Are you serious, man? That is some weak, cowardly, dumb shit. It really is. Because on one side, it's, I can't have anything to do with this dude in your good conscience as a father and your good conscience. And everything that I'm doing or saying, everything that I did by not posting a black box because the music industry tells us that the police are indiscriminately hunting down black people. No, but then it wasn't about that, right? It was about something else. Oh, I still have the thing up here. It was about, oh, well, I don't understand. I don't understand because my father is a cop. And how could I possibly understand because my dad is a police officer and I grew up in suburbia, so, and I'm white. So how can I possibly understand? I'm white. Because I'm white, I don't know what racism really is. I don't understand it. Even when I'm being racist, I don't know it because I'm inherently broken because I'm white. I guess that's kind of it, right? Because I'm confused. I must be confused. Yes, that must be it. Because like Chris Nimvin says, let's check out what Chris Nimvin said about me. Here we go. Another brainiac. Here we are. All right. So Nimvin says about it's 100% against his politics, against my politics, especially of late. And that what he signed up for, what he's talking about is we were all supposed to do a European tour coming up. And we were going to, COVID-19 Wuhan China flu messed everything up, but we were all supposed to do this tour in Europe together. And so he's saying that, that they're dropping off, that they're not going to do it with me, so because he's 100% against my politics, especially of late. I don't know what that is. I don't know what my politics are that everybody's upset about. What Nimvin signed up for was music and fun, not these ideas. Again, these ideas, it must be the ideas of racism, sexism, homophobic, transphobic, hatred, right? That's because nobody's being specific. Nobody ever says anything specific. And he says that he's sorry to see me choose this direction that I've chosen, and that it's sad for all the people who worked hard to help me grow, only to see their efforts burnt. So I've set fire to all of everyone else's hard work because of the things that I'm saying and that I continue to say and that I've always talked about. Nothing has changed really in 25 years. Certainly some of my stances, about and I've talked about how some of them were wrong and how I've changed my mind about things, like I stood up for the Iraq War, for example, in the beginning, and how wrong I was about things. When I'm wrong, man, I'm wrong, and I say it. I haven't dropped back into the shadows and just, crawled into a corner. I'm still out there. I'm doing national media and standing up for the things that I'm standing up for and talking about the things that are important to me. Fairness, and true equality, true racism, violence, and how to stop the violence and where this violence is coming from and where all this brokenness and meaningless and depression and suicide and violence and drug abuse and all. I'm still working on those things. I'm not working on dividing people. I'm not working on walking away from people and breaking things up. I'm not interested in chaos or destruction. I am building just like I always have. I've always been moving in this trajectory. I've always done these things. So how anybody can be confused is hysterical. It's absolutely hysterical. Everybody's under this social media, the programming. You're all robots. You're all ignorant robots. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to show everybody, please stand by, because this is going to culminate once again into what all of you have chosen to stand up for. It's going to go down in history that you are standing up for what I'm going to show you in a Greg Reese report. I might play both of them. So Chris Nimvin is sad for all of the people who have worked hard to help me grow, because now all of your efforts have been burned. I guess because of my racism and my white supremacist tendencies and all of this bad stuff that I've done, and all this has happened in a month, 2 months. I've chosen hate. Oh, and then it says that he hopes, and then it says something about Arturo and Loki. He says good luck to them, and he hopes that in the future that they will work with people who support their opportunity to vote as Puerto Ricans, and that he does, and that we do, that Nimvin the band does, seemingly charging me for somehow believing or I don't believe that Puerto Ricans have a right to vote as much as anybody else that has a right to vote. It's almost borderline not serious. It's almost borderline not serious. I would love to have Chris Nimvin actually stand in a room and charge me with that and say, hey man, yeah, I really believe that you believe that Puerto Ricans in America, a country which I don't even live in, I believe that you believe that Puerto Ricans shouldn't have the opportunity to vote like anybody else. That's nuts. But it says it, and it's there, and you can go read it. I just put it up. And then we're on to Loki. On July 22nd, as the mob is just beating down the door. Just, and let me the Instagram posts that are leading up to all of this. Let's go back a little bit. Let's just go back a little bit. All right. This one pissed everyone off. It says it's a picture of a flag with a blue line. And it says real heroes die serving the law, not resisting it. See, one of the things that I'm all about is actually not breaking the law. I don't believe in breaking the law. I don't believe in hanging out with or being involved with any organizations that are about breaking the law in any sort of fashion. Do you understand? So, police officers, for example, are real heroes because in the line of duty, they die serving the law, not resisting it. So, again, my dad was a police officer. There was a lot of hate coming down on cops. So I put this up. It's really not that crazy, is it? Real heroes die serving the law. All right. That's not bad. There was this picture of me too. Look how awesome that is. Arturo Santayella. Wow, I won't talk about that. You know what I think is real quick. You know what I think is retarded? I think that you're an idiot if when you, for example, say Latino and you go like, for example, it's in a list and then you're saying Latino and you do it with an accent and you're like me, like a Yankee or something. You don't have like a Latino accent. If like Arturo can do it, you know, if he's saying it, but not me. So it can't be like fly trap, hat, walkie-talkie, Latino, computer. You're an idiot if you do that. That's not a totally different subject. I know that I just veered the car. Sorry. Anyway, look at that picture of me. It's awesome. Good job, Arturo. All right. This one really got people pissed off. So it's a picture of, sorry, I'm doing it like this, right? It's a picture of a letter and it says Black Lives Matter at the top and it has the fist. It says, attention, white men, women, and children. You are the enemy. We will not stop until there are more white homicides than black. We will not stop until all white people are sent to re-education camps. We will not stop until white people pay extra taxes to support black individuals. We will not stop until black power runs all government. We will not allow any white person to date another race. We support no white-owned businesses. Hate is okay if directed at white families. All right, so I put, the caption was a little mailbox love from Black Lives Matter. And people went crazy. Everybody went crazy. Oh, I'm posting fake stuff. Like, oh, that's been debunked. That's just fake. My point was, and I said, it doesn't matter if it's fake. It doesn't matter if I made this up and mailed it to myself. The point was Black Lives Matter believes this. And the effort behind what was Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the movement on the street was anti-white, anti-America, anti-cop. It was all of these things demonstrably. We will not stop until there are more white homicides than black. And when I say demonstrably, I mean that there's evidence. And the Greg Reese report is coming up, so stand by, don't go anywhere. Okay, so what else? So the next thing I put, I don't know if this is necessarily in chronological order. It's close. All right, so I put, and sorry I'm doing it like this. Where's that meme thing here? Well, I got to put this up. That's important to have, right? I'm learning. It's got to be there. Okay, so then I put this up. All right, it's a picture of a bunch of young people, and they're jumping on a police car. I wish you could see. Can you see it? Yeah, they're jumping on the police car. It looks like it's somewhere in Baltimore, and it says, definition of terrorism: the use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, especially for political purposes. Yes, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. That was my opinion. This is still my opinion. And everybody went crazy. Dude, what are you doing? Why you can't? What is wrong with you? You can't put that up. People are going to get mad. Do you know what they're saying? Do you know what they're saying about you? Whatever. What, is the show going to get canceled? Oh no. You can't put that up on your Instagram, man. You're going to get someone. All right, the next picture I put up was me and Alex Jones. Me standing in the studio with Alex Jones. And Arturo took the picture, and I wasn't ready, so I don't really like the way that I look in that picture. I'm a handsome dude, but I don't look very good in that picture. I don't know. Alex and I were talking about something. It was kind of like mid, sort of like, hey. But me and AJ. And the caption was like, I think it was a quote from Thomas Jefferson. Eternal hostility to any form of tyranny over the minds and heart, the heart and minds of man. Eternal hostility. I pledge on the altar of God eternal hostility for any tyranny over the minds of men. It was like that. It was a lukewarm response. It was the regular, gay frogs, Sandy Hook, Russians, whatever. People got pissed about that. All right. Alex Jones. All right. Then I put something. Then I put this. I wish I had the dates of when I posted this stuff, but they took it down, so I don't know. All right. Then I put this up. It said, it's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt. I am an American, free-born and free-bred, where I acknowledge no man as my superior, except for his own worth, or as my inferior, except for his own demerit. I thought that was nice, so I put that up. Next, I put up a picture of Yasra Koagali, a co-founder of the Black Lives Matter chapter in Toronto, wrote in a now deleted Facebook post that white people are a genetic defect of blackness. Whiteness is not humanness, wrote Yusra Kogalagli in 2016. In fact, white skin is subhuman. Let's jump back real quick because there's more of that, and I'm going to get to more of that, to Loki's post on July 22nd. So Loki's post, there it is. How it's said about a 20-year relationship behind the scenes, blah, 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 was the beginning of it. Okay. So then it says that, he believes that he wants to have, or he believes that it's important to have meaningful and intelligent conversations, obviously about these things, all of these things right now that I've been continuing having meaningful and intelligent conversations about for, at least 16 years now. And here's one tonight. Here's another one tonight. Here's a meaningful, intelligent relaying of communication regarding my thoughts for people to hear and decipher live on live right now. Here we go. And so important, meaningful, and intelligent conversations instead of shunning every opposing idea. Again, I don't know when I've opposed every opposing idea. I don't know what that means. I don't know what ideas were given to me that I've opposed. All of these things that I've been charged with, I definitely oppose. I oppose any form of racism, sexism, homophobic, transphobic behavior, xenophobic behavior, any sort of, I detest and I oppose hatred for different races, religions, sex, gender, sexual orientation, nationality, or planet of origin. I reject all of those things, and I oppose all of those things. So I don't know what I don't know what I'm not understanding about where I'm coming from. I don't think that I have said anything or done anything to. Now remember these things that Nimvind, that Chris Nimvind and Howie Wowie said were already out there, and that whole bit of Chris 100% being against my politics and he didn't sign up for this, and racism, and I don't believe that Puerto Ricans should have the right to vote in America. All of that was out there. All of this is festering, one of the before the Loki post was the shot heard round the world, apparently. So let's jump to that. So I posted the picture of me doing the OK sign, like that, and I said and the caption was, "I'm a proud Western chauvinist, and I refuse to apologize for building the modern world, creating the modern world," and hashtag Proud Boy, and everybody lost their mind. Oh my God, Michael Graves is a proud boy. What has happened to him? Michael Graves is a Nazi. And then the heat was turned up even more. The zombie mob went ballistic, especially the young teenagers. Man, they deployed all across social media, because that's when Instagram and Facebook got taken down. So it was just like Instagram, Facebook, and all sorts of the fan club pages all get taken down. Boom, everything starts disappearing. The YouTubes, just everything's going down. Everything's gone. Now everything's gone, right? Your worst nightmare, because everything lives on these fucking platforms. I know that there's other platforms out there. Well, everybody's got to go to Parler and Gab and Twitch and everything else. I get it. I know. But, we spent all this time building all this up. You know that there has to be other things. That's the point. I get it. But somebody hit a button, and years worth of work, my work and other people's work, gone, right? They pulled the plug, and then what filled the vacuum were all of these, the pasty, angry mob of ignorant, lazy, entitled, vile, angry, wretched, I said ignorant, foul-mouthed, horrid, disgusting, putrid, dumb, lost, debaucherous, loser hordes of freaks in my inbox, on my phone. Insane. The memes of me getting shot and licking boots are just, it's incredible. And right away there was the vacuum of official Michael Graves was gone. So somebody grabbed that, and the Facebook Michael Graves. So everybody grabbed all these Michael Graves properties, if you will. Everybody grabbed their Michael Graves real estate and built these me in like Nazi suits and licking boots and sucking cocks, and I'm sorry. But bad stuff. Bad stuff. Some of it, a lot of it was funny, but when you look at it in the broader picture, it's not funny at all. It's not funny at all what was happening and what was done. Because when you plug it into the bigger picture, when you do have that higher resolution look at things, because all of you that have come after me in this way, it just makes you feel good to think that you know these things. It just makes you feel good to say racism, homophobic, I don't agree with his politics, and it just makes you feel good that you feel like you know something, but you don't know anything. Nobody. I was on any number of high profile places for any of these guys to come on and continue to talk or to challenge me or to stand up for the things that they are apparently standing up for. But they say that they're standing up for things, but then at the same time you're not standing up for anything. They're not standing up for anything. Being apathetic and just saying, "Oh, I'm not going to say I won't, I'm not going to respond to the comments, and I'm not going to respond to the things that I'm saying to actually make a case for calling this individual somebody that we know intimately and that has been with us for years, and that has, as well as everybody else working hard for me, I've worked hard for everybody else. I've worked hard for everybody else to put my name and my honor and my treasure on all of their dreams, on all of your dreams. I bet on you as well. I knew that before this, where Nim Vind and some of these other bands and some of these other people, I know, during the conservative punk years, if you will, and horror punks Germany and all this other, same thing that was happening back then, happening now. But I understand. I said, yeah, you know what? We have to build. We have to come together. Here we are now. We're all working together, and you can see who I am, and you can hear my ideas, and you can see the way that I live my life, and see how I interact with my family and my friends and the people that I have working with me and for me, and how I conduct myself in a professional manner, how I conduct myself in a private manner, how I conduct myself when the chips are down, when things are good, and when things are not good, and when things are not good. You've seen all sides of me, and yet here we are in July of 2020. Now people walking away from me because in their good sense, in their fatherly instincts and good, their good morals can't handle being with me anymore because of my stances on things. Because I'm standing up against Black Lives Matter and Antifa and open violence in the streets and this cancel culture stuff, to where we're going to make the rules, and the rules are that whatever we say goes, and whoever doesn't say this is out. That's the world that you're creating. That's the side that you have chosen. So I am, and we are having important, meaningful, and intelligent conversations. You are just not part of it. Never were. Off doing other things. Everybody was always off doing other things all throughout all of this. Even in the misfit days. Now, I am not a prude, and I am not some straight-edged, tight-lipped. I've done plenty of things wrong every day. There's a list of things that I've done wrong. I am a Christian. I am saved by the blood of Jesus Christ, God the Father, all things through him. But I'm not perfect, man. No, I am not a good Christian. But that's the point. So I'm not saying I'm this perfect person. But even in the misfits, I knew, because I always wanted to, because I love to learn and I love to communicate and I love to talk about these things, whatever it is. All of these intellectual booky things about the world. I love being informed. I love talking about the world. I love talking about the consequences of things. I love talking about music. I love talking about society and history. I love it. Much more so than I love just sitting in a bar and drinking, or not doing anything, or just sitting, for example, just playing games or whatever. Some people are into that. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that that's not me. I've always liked to learn. And when I joined the Misfits when I was 20. I wanted to go to college. I did. I wanted to go to college and write books and talk on the radio and be part of intellectual circles that trade ideas, debate, trade, and so I said to myself, it's very important for me to continue my education as I travel through this journey that I'm about to go on with the Misfits, which was a huge deal, obviously. But I was 20 years old. I'm 46 now. That's 26. Wait, no, I'm 45. I'm always giving myself a year. I don't know why I do that. But I do. All right, I'm 45. So it was 25 years ago. And so I wasn't, after the shows, all my downtime, I spent it differently. My point being is that I am having meaningful and intelligent conversations as best as I can. That's always been my thing. So it's just a bunch of shit to say that, for example, my former guitar player, Loki, has left because he feels that it's important, which we weren't having, or I wasn't having, or he wasn't having, some sort of important, meaningful, and intelligent conversations about these ideas that I have, and charging me with just opposing and shunning every other idea. That's just like lawyer word sauce. Loki wrote that he openly disagrees with my politics. Again, I don't know what that is, my politics. What are my politics? Politics. My politics. Politics. I'm gonna look it up. Politics. What is the actual meaning of politics? Are associated. It's the set of activities that are associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations between individuals, such as the distribution or resources or status. Politics is a multifaceted word. Okay, so my politics. So what I believe are, my ideas about things that are associated with making decisions in groups or other forms of power relations. So, for example, like the Constitution, separation of powers, how a country runs, how systems of government run. Okay, all right. So he's openly disagreed with that. Okay, that's fine. My tactics and my messaging on social media. So let me read it all so that he's openly disagreed with my politics and tactics and messaging on social media, and my recent activity goes way beyond that. All right, so back to my tactics and my messaging. My tactics and my messaging. Well, I was just showing you the stuff that I was putting up on Instagram. Now, it later goes on to say that I should have somehow cleared the things that I was putting up on my Instagrams because Loki was hurt, confused, and disappointed at this point. He's feeling hurt. And now this is July 22nd. All my Facebooks are gone. Everything is gone, right? Everything's been nuked. There's press about me with the Proud Boys and doing the OK symbol and and the Western chauvinist thing. Everybody's freaking out. I'm getting death threatened. But Loki is hurt and confused, and he's disappointed. And my actions, he will never condone or support. See, that's important too. My actions will never be condoned or supported by my ex-guitarist. Seemingly still my friend, I guess. But how can you say these things about somebody like this on social media and charge me with such incredible things, so ignorantly, so blindly. This guy that walked me out of Birkenau broken down in tears, literally coming apart, having like a nervous breakdown because it was so overwhelmingly, excruciatingly sad and horrible and just terrible for that same person to be saying these things and charging me with these things and aligning themselves with the other side that is coming up against me in this way and justifying it all by doing so on social media while all this is happening, while it's all in a crescendo and the agents are leaving and the European shows are being canceled. Meanwhile, this is all happening while I'm away with my family. I haven't seen my mom and God knows, and my sister and God knows how long. And this is all happening. This is all happening while that's going down. And people are quitting, and it's like the whole house is on fire, man. The whole house is burning down. And then boom, this comes out. This social media post about I'm out, man. I'm out. I'm out because he believed that we're supposed to be having important, meaningful, intelligent conversations, which we are. Instead, all right, let me jump. I don't want to go backwards. Let me go forward. So never will my actions be condoned or supported by my ex guitar player, by Loki. I made unilateral decisions. I posted on my, I wasn't really posting on Facebook. I did post a couple of things on Facebook that I remember. Okay. But I made unilateral decisions about my Facebook and my Instagram. Let's continue with some of these things that I put up that's gotten everybody so upset that I think they're talking about so that we can understand it, right? So, all right. So there was the Real Heroes Die Serving the Law post, and then there was, I'll show you again. I'm a handsome dude. Look at that smoke. Arturo Santaella picture. Santaella. The Black Lives Matter thing, that it doesn't matter if it was fake or real or if it actually came from Black Lives Matter, because the content of it is important. What it was saying was important. The hatred of white people. Do you understand? And then the definition of terrorism, the use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, especially for political purpose. Yes, Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. That's what I posted. And there's dudes jumping on the police car it looks like somewhere in Baltimore. There's a picture of me and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. We call him Alex Jones. Me and Alex Jones. It's not my favorite picture of myself. Theodore Roosevelt, I am an American, freeborn and freebred, where I acknowledge no man as my superior except for his own worth, or as my inferior except for his own demerit. Theodore Roosevelt. I know that's deep for some of you. You might have to rewind it. And then I put this from, it's a screenshot of this individual. Her name is Yusra Kogagali, whatever. Co-founder of the Black Lives Matter chapter in Toronto, wrote in a now deleted Facebook post that white people are a genetic defect of blackness. Now that's a quote. Facebook post that says, quote, white people are a genetic defect of blackness. Whiteness is not humanness, wrote Yusra Kogali in 2016. Quote, in fact, white skin is subhuman. Now, people went on to tell me, oh, that's just one chapter. That's just one person saying one thing. These are the same people that are charging Proud Boys with white national Nazis, and one guy said so, or one guy might have said did this, or which is none of it's true, and I'll get to Proud Boys later. But there it is, same thing, really. Then here's a picture I posted of Jack Posobiec and this Antifa thug, and Jack staring him down. I love that picture. You punk, you punk, you punk, you piece of nothing, you trash, you're filth. And then Antifa thug, you piece of crap, go home. And then I posted this picture of me with my InfoWars shirt on in my beloved South America with all those beautiful folks behind me, and I'm giving the thumbs up. Like, yep, roger that, yo. I don't know. I don't think that I wrote anything incendiary underneath that post. I really, maybe whatever. I didn't say like, throw black people in the ovens. I certainly didn't say that, and I wouldn't say that, because let me make clear once again, if you want to talk about what I oppose and things that ideas that I oppose, if you're looking for ideas and things that we might be in line with, well, let me tell you, here we are. This thing is going live. I still got my microphone on. It's still pumping out. Arturo, nobody's called me and said they can't hear me, which is good. So you can hear me. I am against all forms of racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia. I'm against all forms of individual or organizational things that would exempt people based on their skin color or what God they believe in or where they came from, whether it was outer space or another country. I'm an equal opportunity lover, because at the end of the day, God made everybody. I try to see the world as best I can through the eyes of God, the way that God sees them, everybody. And God doesn't see color. Like Martin Luther King Jr., I know a lot of people say it, but it's the truth. Martin Luther King Jr. said that you judge people on the basis of the content of their character and not the color of their skin. I know I don't have to say it, but I am not a racist. You can kiss my backside. Heh. My God. All right. So what else did I put up? I put up this picture of Radio Deadly. Yeah, Radio Deadly, Radio Deadly. Huh, this must have gotten everybody really pissed off leading up to this whole thing with the Proud Boys. Because it was really, these were indicators, everybody. These were indicators of things that I was doing, things that I should have made, that I should not have made unilateral decisions about. Regarding my career and my social media presence and my posts, I should have ran it through some people and told everybody, because according to Loki and his post, which is right here, according to Loki and his post, I should have I should not have made these my unilateral decisions, and that my actions, he'll never condone or support my unilateral decisions that I've made about these posts and everything, I guess, and that ultimately I will be held accountable for my actions, which I guess, I'm being held accountable for my actions now, because like Antifa says, hate has consequences, right? Isn't that right? My hate has consequences. And so, like, I've been told from some of these young messengers that so eloquently get their point across to me, that hate has consequences. And because I'm all of these things, because you guys said so. You said so, right? You told social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all your followers, all your moral, upstanding, good people, all the fans that you've created, you told them all the people that were burning down my house, you told them all that, yeah, Michael Graves must be this racist, sexist, homophobic, crazy person, white supremacist, Nazi, piece of shit, fascist, that should be canceled and taken off the air and canceled from music and not allowed to play anywhere, not allowed to go on an airplane and fly anywhere. If you come here, we're going to shut it down and we're going to kill you. And if you're not, we're not even going to let you get here because we're going to, me and all these other people, we're going to call up the venue and the promoter and the agencies, and we're just going to flood them with the most vile, vicious, horrible crap that you've ever seen and just pour it on for as long as we possibly can. And if we can get a hold of your phone number, we're going to do that too, and we're going to call you and we're going to leave you messages, your text messages, and even if we find your young daughter has an Instagram and it's about, if it's about slime or something, we're gonna get in touch with her too, and we're gonna threaten and give her a hard time too. But we're gonna make sure that you don't have any sort of any way to make a living, any way to actually participate in the physical world. We're going to destroy you online while everything else is happening, right? While the physical world is being taken away. Here we go. We're taken off the road. All of us. We're taken out of our jobs. We're taken out of schools. We're all taken off the streets. We can't go anywhere. We all have to be afraid of getting some sort of sickness, right? We're all afraid of dying from some bug, from the flu. And so we're all sitting at home. You take everybody out of the physical realm and you build a panopticon. Remember when everybody was talking about the panopticon that was being built? So you take everybody off the streets and you put them in their boxes and you put them in their houses. And so what's left? Social media. What's left is the computer. All right. So let's take all these people that we don't agree with, that make us uncomfortable and make our emotion, oh, you're making me upset. You're making me uncomfortable. Somebody's going to say something about me. We're just going to hit a button and make you gone. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And that's what's happening. Like that's what reality is. Back to what's happening in real time, which is my point. Is why this is so crazy and dangerous and needs to be called out. This is the society that we're going to build. This is the community that we're being built. Somebody like me is going to be dragged through the mud and thrown out the window and shot in the back of the head by people that are supposedly my friends, my brothers, my teammates, other colleagues, other bands, other projects that I was helping and propping up and funding. I pay people good. I take care of my guys. You all know, people that work for me and that have been part of, that I am not tight in the wallet. And anytime I can do something, I do it. That's another thing. It's not like I'm some scraggly, I keep all I'm not Dr. Chud. You hear me? Or most other guys probably that would be in my position. I'm not like that, man. Nope. I'm the guy that sleeps on the floor if you want to sleep on the bed. And my name's on the marquee. So I can't understand this hurt, confused, and disappointed that whole thing. But ultimately I'll be held accountable for my actions, indeed. And that I've betrayed. It's funny, the part where it says about that I've betrayed Arturo Santayala and Loki. I'm not speaking for Arturo, but I know for a fact that Arturo did not know that his name was put in that post. Just saying. I'm just saying. Because there's no need for any of this. all of this is so juvenile and so like brainwashed cult level insanity that it would be laughable if it's not having such serious repercussions on our society in little ways. The butterfly flapping its wings. So Arturo didn't know that, about this betrayal. I guess I betrayed through secrecy, by unilateral decisions. I've betrayed all of my business partners and anyone who's ever been affiliated with me. I've betrayed. Let's look at just so I understand. Let's look up betrayed so that we know what that means. Betray. Okay, so betray means, this is Oxford languages. Just in case you wanted to say that I translated it wrong. I defined it wrong. So betray, expose to danger by treacherously giving information to an enemy. Okay. I don't know if I did that. The example is a double agent who betrayed some 400 British and French. I didn't do that, right? Okay. What's similar, it says, is break faith with. Well, okay, maybe. Unintentionally reveal, be evidence of. She drew a deep breath that betrayed her indignation. Betray. I betrayed. Break one's. Okay, so similar. It's break one's promise. Be disloyal to. Be unfaithful. Okay, so there it is. There's the synonyms. So I betrayed. I've broken promises. I've been disloyal. I've been unfaithful to Loki, and because I've made these unilateral decisions, and I've also betrayed, broken my promises, been disloyal and unfaithful to all of my business partners and anyone else who has ever been affiliated with me, because I've made these unilateral decisions and my politics, and I've put it on my Instagram and my Facebook page, and I've given my opinion, and I've come on and streamed live on my Facebook page that had hundreds of thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of likes, my Instagram that had upwards of 40,000 people on it, my YouTube, Twitter before it was taken down. Last time this all happened was upwards of 10, 12,000 followers. No, not a small audience, not bad for as long as I was working to build those pages up. I would broadcast out and use my right of free expression to talk about these things. I gave the opportunity for other people to come on and talk, and I defended my position, and I put myself out there. I articulate how I feel about Black Lives Matter and about Antifa. There's no hiding. I've done it. So I don't know how you expect me to sit down with all of my business partners and everybody and say, okay, guys, this is what I'm gonna do, on my social media, and what do you guys think about it? Do you think that that's a good idea if I do that or not? Do you think that's going to get people mad? And I know what you say. Oh, well, don't say anything like that, or, because why? Oh, because, a promoter's going to get mad, or an agent's going to get mad, or somebody's going to get mad, and then somebody else is going to get mad, and then they're going to say some stuff, and oh my God, then we're going to lose our Facebook. But wait a second, I truly believe these things that I'm saying. Black Lives Matter is based on a lie. There's no systemic racism that is so bad in America that we need to take to the streets and completely burn down the system and start over and stop people in the streets and rip them out of their cars and attack them with guns and march into neighborhoods and tell people that they're on historically black land and that they're going to burn their house down and they're going to drag them out and they're going to recreate this world, and that everything that has been built, everything around us, all of the systems, everything. America is inherently bad because white people have raped, pillaged, stolen, and built-in systems of oppression to hold down anybody else. And white people can't even understand these systems. They can't even understand these systems because we're so inherently bad and broken as white people that we don't understand our own racism. And so we're not even fully human. And so we need to be done away with, and our minds need to be changed, and our families need to be broken up, and our Christianity, our religion needs to be stopped and put away and re-educated and changed and dismantled and burned to the ground. And all of the people, all of the voices that are talking about, hey, let's not do this, this is a bad thing, we're being pitted against one. Everybody that voices any sort of opposition to this, anyone, whether you're Michael Graves, some sort of punk rock musician, or some sort of medical doctor, some sort of PhD medical doctor with 40 years experience, going on national TV saying, hey, wait a second, I'm giving this drug to somebody, and I'm giving this drug to hundreds of people that have this thing, and it's helping them. Oh, that person needs to be taken off and done away with and silenced and never to be heard again. You have to be taken off of YouTube. You cannot say anything here. Well, have we lost our friggin' minds? We are at such a level of brainwashing and cult level shit that alarms should be going off in the sky. So I shouldn't say anything. Back to that, right? So I shouldn't have said anything because that's what the world is. That's what reality is. And then afterwards, people were saying, well, you could fix it if you just apologize and say that you're not going to say anything. I got those phone calls. And I said, no way. People reached out to me. People reached out to me with press releases and said, let's let this run through. Let's let this run through. We'll just say that it's, we'll talk about. Somebody floated to me. I swear to God, somebody floated to me saying, listen, you have talked about mental health issues in the past, depression, anxiety. Maybe let's just apologize. We'll release a press release that apologizes, saying that you suffer from some of these things and you just weren't thinking, and that I'm just being misunderstood, and that I apologize. I'm not going to say anything anymore about it, and I just want to go on and be a musician. That's real. That's real. So I've betrayed my business partners and anyone who's ever been affiliated with me. And Loki said, my ex-guitarist, a lot of you know him, probably most of you, said at the end of his post that he put up on the Facebook that it's a battle that he cannot, it was a battle that he cannot and will not fight with me. It's a battle that he cannot and will not fight with me. So what is this battle? Well, it's the battle of everything that I just went over. It's the battle of, hey, don't say anything or you'll be taken off of Facebook. It's the battle of, hey man, don't say anything because people think that group of people is really bad. The internet says it. The battle is against the cowardiceness of, hey, everybody on Facebook is saying bad things and putting pressure against us. And so I'm going to walk away from everything and take the side of all of these crazy people, all of these crazy, ignorant people whose ideas mostly I oppose. Although they do champion free speech, individuality, right? Liberty, all of the things that I champion too. So what's the problem? Where's the divide? Is the divide really that I'm a Nazi, that I'm some sort of white supremacist, that I'm a racist, sexist, homophobic? I could put it up again. If you missed it, I don't know if there's new people tuning in. I don't even know if anybody's watching this. I'm racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, all this crazy crap. Because I oppose BLM and Antifa. All right. Now, some of those things, again, I'm going to keep going because there's more of the Instagram stuff that I should have cleared with everybody, that my Instagram was taken down for and my Facebook was taken down for and everybody jumped ship for, and Howie quit and Adam quit and Loki quit and didn't just walk away and just say, yeah, I'm just I'm out of here, man. Let's just the optics of it. Let's just say that we all decided because of the virus and the shit that's happening with all that. We've just decided that we're gonna do different things and just step away that way. No. Everybody's got to put these posts about me. Everybody's got to talk all this bullshit about me. And you know that it is. I'm going to say it one more time and then I swear I'm going to move on to continue on this. But racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, hatred of different races. These are the things that Nim Vind and Howie and apparently Loki they don't want to be associated with me, and they quit my band and they jumped off the tour, and all of the people that follow them and all of that community, I guess the horror punk against racism, the horror punk against racism community, all of the we hate fascism, all of you guys, all of that community have charged me with being racist, sexist, homophobic, white national. I'm the Nazi guy, right? That's the truth. You guys really believe that that's the truth? All right. So the Instagram post, here's another one. Army's Captain America, who served nearly 12 combat tours, dies by suicide after moving to DC. So I put that post up about that young man who's a real man, much more of a man than I could ever be. That's the truth. Man, Army Ranger, special operator, Green Beret. Obviously saw a lot of combat, was with a company that lost like so many guys. It was so bad. It was really, really horrible what this individual went through. And it was eulogizing him, and has a small child and a wife, and it just, things got to him, and it was just really bad. It was so sad, and he killed himself. And I posted about him, and I put I think I put a link to the Facebook and my email, and I said, for any veterans who are feeling depressed, or maybe that you just need somebody to listen. It was this outreach post. It was to anybody that might feel like they're gonna hurt themselves, or felt so outcast or hurt or lost that maybe they were gonna kill themselves or something. And that's what that post was about. So that was up there. Then I put the picture up of that young woman who was killed. I don't know where it was, St. Louis. Because she was saying that all lives matter, and there was other black people, the Black Lives Matter, and they were shouting back and forth, and then somebody shot her from a bridge, and it was like, she had a young child, and her husband was like, he was talking about how terrible it was to have to tell the young child that her mother was dead. And again, so I'm thinking about all this violence, and I've been talking about it for years and years and years, saying that violence is coming to our cities. Violence is coming to our streets. Violence is coming. People are going to get hurt. People are going to get killed. This has to stop. We have to talk about the things that have gotten us to this point. We have to talk about why music and culture and art are so important, and how they've been poisoned, and why they've been poisoned, and what they're doing to our young people, and what they've done to our young people, what they've done to us, and now what the repercussions of that are through education and through programming and through all of these systems of output that have created the mobs that are on the streets, and the mobs that are behind the keyboards and the smartphones that are just rolling over everybody in a zombie sense. So people got mad at that. Then I put this awesome picture of me up that Arturo took. Yeah, bitches. Yup. Try it. This got people mad. Huh. There's the Soviet Union. The communist Soviet Union. Lenin's Soviet Union, and the fist of communism, the hammer and the sickle, and wait, look, the Black Lives Matter thing right there. It looks very, very similar. Very similar. I might be getting taken off the platforms now for showing that. Do you see the similarities? Do you get it? Do you get it? Marxism and communism. Let me tell you something. My grandfather fought in World War II. My father fought in Vietnam. On and on. I know what that is. Most people do. Most people do. Some people go, that's Russia, right? It's yeah. That's like the solid, yeah, right. That's the right on fist. Yeah. No, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. You idiots. You idiots. This is what you've sided with. Really, you've sided with communists and fascists. Oh, no, you're going to say, oh, no, we haven't. No, we haven't. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you what, Howie Wowie has Black Lives Matter up on his little website, on his little Facebook page. So that is, oh, that's Loki. There's Howie. Black Lives Matter. Now, the sentiment behind that, I get. I get it. Of course, Black Lives Matter. Of course. But, man, I don't see anywhere anybody's made the distinction between the organization and saying that actual Black Lives Matter. I haven't seen the disclaimer about that. So I'm just going with you're right on with you're down with the plan. You're down with the plan. You're down with the plan. Yeah. Yeah. Fist. All right. So remember, because I'm gonna get to the Proud Boys thing. All right. There's Black Lives Matter and Antifa. I don't have a Antifa logo, but there's the Black Lives Matter logo. Now I'm, again, full disclosure, I'm a Proud Boy. Uhuru. And so obviously I'm in that organization. So there's that, and we'll talk about Proud Boys because that's part of this whole thing. That's everybody really lost their collective mind when that went down. Okay, so I'm going to show it one more time. Redundancy is important. Then there's this other picture of me that's really good. Check it out, girls. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah. Right. All right. Then there's this picture of somebody from One Direction that my daughter put up. We're not even going to show that to you. Okay. This was met with some opposition. People got mad at this. I don't know why. This maybe was one of the things that I should have run through the upper echelon of my handlers, apparently, that I didn't even know I had. It's a picture of Mel Gibson, and next to it, it says, Hollywood is an institutionalized pedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Wait, and you know what? And even in one of the media stories that came out about me after the whole Proud Boys thing dropped, it said about my Instagram having posts about that were that were supportive of Proud Boys and Mel Gibson. and this is what they were talking about. It's a picture of Mel Gibson, also a handsome fellow, very talented. And there's these words next to it. And it says, Hollywood is an institutionalized pedophile ring. It is a den of parasites who feast on the blood of children. Every studio in Hollywood is bought and paid for with the blood of innocent children. Man, isn't that something? People got really, really mad about that. Really mad about that. Now, there is definitely an important and a meaningful and an intelligent conversation happening about that I see and hear all the time. Sometimes I'm a part of that conversation. Other times I'm not. Oh man, my phone just shut down. So Instagram fun might be over for a second. I should have been paying particular attention to the battery. So, Hollywood being a pedophile ring, certainly we can be in agreement that the pipeline of filth that comes out of Hollywood is not doing any good for our society. All right, where are we here? Where are we? So there it is. There's the big charge of all of that's leading up to me. I'm putting up these Instagram posts. You just saw the one, Mel Gibson. There was a couple of other ones after that. The fist, the BLM fist did not make people excited for anything that I was doing. And then eventually I put up, and I should have the picture here. I totally suck where I should be able to put it up for you, but I don't have it. I don't have it. It was a picture of me on stage, and I'm so the story behind the picture of me doing the OK sign is this. Way back when news started to come out about the OK sign being a white supremacist sign, you know, like an undercover sign that had to do with the president doing it, and white supremacist groups were doing it, and you know, and alt-right groups were doing it. It's before that, I was in Europe and I'm standing on stage and the monitors are horrible. The monitors are absolutely horrible. And so Scooter, my front of house engineer, him and I are working it out real time on stage, back and forth, and all we have are our eye contact, and that's it. And so he's working out what he needs to work out on stage. He brings my vocals up and makes the guitar a little bit louder or something like that. He looks at me and he goes, and I go like this. And right at that moment, Arturo takes a picture. And it's this awesome picture of me. Let's see if I can find it. It's a picture of me doing the OK sign. I'm sure that you've seen it. It's all over the place because people got really, really upset. People got mad. Oh, there it is. I wonder if I can just drop it in here and show it to you. I hope I can. Maybe I can just show my screen. Is that a possibility? Let's see. Maybe if I download it. Oh, this is from All right, I'm going to save this image for you, and I'm going to show it. So it's this picture of me, and I'm doing the okay sign, and it's literally me, just saying, it's like perfect, man, good job. Here, wait. Okay, here it is. It's really small, though. See that? It's me doing the okay sign. I'm like, it's perfect. But this is from punknews.org. And it was the, oh my God, Michael Graves. Michael Graves says that he's a Western chauvinist and that he refuses to apologize for building the modern world. Michael Graves uncloaks as a white nationalist. News at 11. Michael Graves is a Nazi. Michael Graves hates white people. No, Michael Graves hates black people. He's a white person. He even hates himself. He hates things so much that he hates himself. Yeah, okay. So, I posted that picture way back when, just because it was a really cool picture. And then after the whole okay thing came out about being white supremacist, I posted it again with the link and the article that said, this is ridiculous about this whole okay thing. And then later I posted the me doing that sign, and it said that I was a proud Western chauvinist and I refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. Now, I'm a Proud Boy. The Proud Boys are a national organization of a few thousand men. The Proud Boys are lied about, smeared, and demonized constantly. All of the things that I am, all of these things that that I have been and being charged with, all of my politics, all of my beliefs, the people that I roll with, my circle of friends and family, people that I do business with, this organization that I am a part of, a proud part of, the Proud Boys, are one of the most talked about groups in the media right now, and also one of the most misunderstood. And that's the opening line of this article, which I'm going to read again because maybe you weren't listening last night. And I want to read this again just in case any of my ex-band members or anybody else that I've supposedly burnt, because according to my ex-band member, it's everybody that has ever been affiliated with me. So to all of you who believe that, I'm going to read you this article that Katie Jensen wrote about Proud Boys. And it really puts Proud Boys into a different light than you might have recognized in the past. Since I'm such a bad guy, one of the most talked about groups in the media right now are the Proud Boys. They're also one of the most misunderstood. The Proud Boys have really appeared on the conservative scene within the last year and have become famous for their appearance at events and protection of speakers and event attendees. Most notably, some of the people Proud Boys have been seen protecting at events are popular media personalities like Lauren Southern, Faith Goldie, Brittany Pettibone, etc. Equally as important is the Proud Boys' commitment to holding the front lines during contentious protests against Antifa, both protecting conservative women, but also the elderly and those at risk. People that can't defend themselves, people that can't stand up for themselves, people that maybe they won't stand up for themselves, people that are harassed, bullied, attacked for no good reason. Proud Boys are there. Famous for it, actually. They've become a welcome face in their black and gold trimmed shirts and a de facto alpha male security force for the right. Don't misconstrue that. They often back and support events centered around Trump, freedom of speech, or conservative organized rallies and public speaking events. People that love freedom, people that love family, people that love being left alone and doing what they believe. People that love having their own business and making their own choices and building their own things, regardless of what the mob wants them to do or charge them with. That's not part of the article. That's me making this longer than it needs to be. They have been mentioned, the Proud Boys have been mentioned over the last few months multiple times in mainstream media, but mainstream media always creates an alternate narrative to what they actually are about. They've been constantly misrepresented, constantly misquoted, and demonized. It's time to set the record straight and shine a light on what the Proud Boys are actually about. The leader of the Proud Boys, or the founder of the Proud Boys, is a comedian and political commentator, Gavin McInnes. Hilariously, the internet touts Gavin McInnes as, quote, the godfather of the hipster movement and the, quote, one of the hipsterdom's primary architects. This has to be one of the more hysterical trolls McInnes has ever pulled off as a comedian who frequently pokes fun at social justice warriors, hipsters, and the left in general. The more that McInnes looked around in popular culture, in everyday life, he was surrounded by beta males. Beta males. Surrounded by beta males. Wondering where all the alpha males have gone. He decided to form a group to bring back the sense of camaraderie of the male fraternal organizations of decades past, in our grandfather's times. That's me putting that in there. So the Proud Boys were a group that was constructed out of the idea of bringing back and starting groups that were based around camaraderie of the male fraternal organizations of decades past. From there, the Proud Boys were born. From the Proud Boys get their name from the song Proud of Your Boy, from the live version of Disney, Aladdin. The Proud Boys describe themselves as modern Western fraternal organizations that accepts that the West is the best. Their key slogan, now this is going to be familiar to you, so hang on. The key slogan, and this is what got me in trouble, is a fraternal organization of Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. End quote. The basic tenet shakes up the left, particularly the social justice warrior crowd, because of the use of the word chauvinist. All you morons got your pants in a tither because I used the word chauvinist. And you freaked out because you don't understand it, dummies. The key slogan is a fraternal organization of Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. The basic tenet shakes up the left, particularly the social justice warrior, Black Lives Matter, Antifa. You should have told us before you did this. You don't know what you're talking about. I believe that the things that you're talking about, you are not completely understanding, and that you are misunderstanding what you're talking about. You don't know. You don't know. So you must be stopped. A fraternal organization of Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. This pisses off the social justice warrior crowd because of the word chauvinist. But they misconstrue the traditional use of the word. It's an English word, by the way. English word. Webster's dictionary has words in it. And you open it up and you look in the book and it tells you what the words mean. So the Webster's dictionary describes the word chauvinism in two traditional ways that apply to the Proud Boys. Those definitions are, quote, excessive or blind patriotism, fervent nationalism, and undue partiality or attachment to a group or place to which one belongs or has belonged. Regional chauvinism. Typically, mainstream media equates chauvinism with sexism and their patriotism and nationalism for white nationalism. I'm going to say that again for those who might be a little bit slower than the other kids in the class. Okay? Typically, mainstream media equates chauvinism, that's the word I used, remember? Western chauvinist. Chauvinism, it's equated with sexism and patriotism and nationalism for white nationalism. Sometimes those things are confused. One more time. Chauvinism being equated with sexism, two different things. Patriotism and nationalism for white nationalism, two different things. Even though the two of those things are drastically different, very, very different. So one of which must be true. And that is, it's not sexist and it's not white supremacist. You idiots. Western nationalism is simply a love for one's own country, typically before other countries. For example, American nationalism is often translated as America first. Let me give you an example. I love America more than I love Norway because I don't live in Norway and I'm not a Norwegian. I'm an American. I love America. I love America. I love America more than I love, for example, Puerto Rico. I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm not from Puerto Rico. Doesn't mean I don't love Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. But I love America first because America has given me all the things that I have. This is the country that I love. I'm an American. I love South America, or that's a whole bunch of countries. I love Brazil. I love Argentina, but I love America more. I don't know enough about Argentina or South America. I really know America a lot, and I love her, right? If you're talking about women, if Argentina was a woman, I love her. She's beautiful, all sorts of good things, but I don't really know her so much. Brazil, I love her too. I do. But I don't, I know some things, we've gone out on a couple of dates. I've done some dates. We've done some dates. And so I kind of know Brazil, I don't know Puerto Rico at all. I've never been there. But Argentina, Brazil, places like that, Mexico, I love Mexico. We got a lot of dates and stuff there, but I really don't know. But I do know America. I'm inside America. I'm in America. I love America. I'm born here. Everything that I have is here, and so I love America first. Do you get it? Is that so hard? Is that complicated? Like, that's crazy to say. That's I can't think of the word. Controversial? Like, that's controversial? Me saying I love America. I love America first. Hello? That's crazy. That's crazy if you don't get that. But that's exactly what went down. That's exactly what's happening. Okay. White nationalism is defined as a group, quote, a group of sometimes militant whites who espouse white supremacy and advocate enforced racial segregation with a far-right platform. It's funny because if you look what's happening on the street, and I'm going to play the Greg Reese videos from band.com, infowars.com, band.video. I'm going to play Greg Reese's reports, and it's funny because you're going to see a bunch of militant whites who are espousing black supremacy, actually, or white hate really, and they're and advocating enforced racial segregation with their far left platform, or they're total anarchist. And it's in the video. I'm going to show it to you. Don't go anywhere. I know I'm going long, but I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to bring it home, I promise. All right? So we're talking about the Proud Boys. Everybody lost their minds about this. And I haven't directly confronted this. I haven't directly confronted the things that have been said about me, the things that were put forward about me that also went into the media. That's now part of historical record. So when you type in Michael Graves, you're going to see all this shit about racism and sexism and this whole ugly chapter. But I'm taking it back. I am. And I haven't said anything about it because this is a long sort of thing to put together because this is what I'm talking about when I talk about a high resolution look at all of the problems. It's just not this low resolution thing where you just say racist and you just say sexist or you just say, oh, hate for different races. You can't just say that and not expand on that. All these people that it makes you feel like you know something when there's just one answer. When you're using all of this the identity politics of the times where you're you know where there are people that are focused. They have this increased focus and do know what they're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. I don't know everything, but I do know what's happening and what has happened to me and a lot of other people out there. Good people, hardworking people that have also good people that have so much taken away from them. Their families have been harmed. They have been harmed. Their good names have been harmed. Their hard work. And now I'm not painting us as victims because we are roaring back. We are out there and we are not literally busting down the doors. We are kicking in the doors and we are taking the culture back because we are smart and we are informed and we are unifying and we're together and we're networking and we are all understanding of all of this crazy energy and organizations and emotions and systems and tactics, all of it. We know all of it. We know what you're putting, and we're pushing back. We're pushing back and we're not taking it anymore. Every time I go on Facebook, every time I go on one of these broadcast things, it's like I have to watch what I'm saying. And I'm afraid, I shouldn't say this person's name. And, I shouldn't talk about what they said about me. And maybe I'm not pussyfooting around anymore. I'm not taking it anymore. I'm calling people out. You want to call me out? Fine. Let's go on the radio. We'll go on the TV. We'll go on wherever you want to go. And have these conversations, these meaningful conversations about these politics. I've always been doing it. I've always wanted to do it. I always have been doing it. I've continued to write about it. I was the person I wrote MTV hates white people, and everybody freaked out. I'm the guy that wrote about, and it's not, again, I haven't figured anything out. I do my research. I listen to other people and I hear what they have to say, their ideas and their information. And then I take their ideas and their information and I put it through my lens of things and my filters. And I go and I put that against my research and my common sense. And I decipher it through the discernment that I have. And I come out on the other end with my conclusion. I just don't hide behind whatever there is to hide behind. I'm not hiding behind a computer screen. I'm not hiding behind the phone. I am out there for all to see and for all to hear. I've been going on almost 2 hours now. I don't see any of my detractors. I see a couple of YouTube channels that have gone on for maybe 45 minutes. This one dummy goes on for almost 2 hours. And comes up against, he's got to try to somehow figure out, he's painted himself into such an intellectual corner with all of the bullshit he was putting up against me that he had to somehow figure out now how to say that it's not a good thing to be proud of your country, to love this country, America. That's nuts, man. That's totally crazy. All right. So the group of militant whites I'm going to show you in the Greg Reese report that I'm going to play at the end of this. I'm trying not to go that long. I really didn't plan on going almost 2 hours. Again, it's such a big thing, and so okay, so all right. So the forced racial segregation, we got Antifa, the Black Lives Matter folks. All right. White nationalism, as defined as a group of sometimes militant whites who espouse white supremacy and advocate enforced racial segregation with a far-right platform, putting that up against and equating that with just American nationalism and Western chauvinism, right? There's two totally different things. They're two totally different things. The reality is, the lack of comprehension of these facts has led to the Proud Boys being labeled as a racist group. The reality is the Proud Boys are actually a multiracial and LGBT-friendly group. That's crazy, because, today as well, as I was perusing for really the first time through some of these comments, there's a particular person that is, and I'm not going to say your name, that is particularly involved in and raising their son through the LGBT whole thing, right? I've performed for this person. I've spoken to this person. I've met this person more than once in person and had a long conversation with her. Spoke to her mom as well. And it's in Howie's thread on his Facebook, where it's just like, I can't believe Michael is now this hateful person against the LGBT. That's me. I can't believe that he's part of, and he hates me, and Howie responds to it. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's like I'm paraphrasing. I don't know exactly what it says. It's too small for me to read, and I'm not going to pull it up. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry. It's really blowing our minds. These people have actually had like a funeral for me. Like, I'm gone. I'm dead. I'm dead to these people. And I saw it, and that's redundant. That theme was redundant through so many, and I got a lot of messages, man. I got a lot of messages. And there was a redundancy in a lot of the comments and stuff that I saw that, oh, you're dead, and I'm playing famous monsters in American Psycho records today, and having a funeral for Michael Graves because I could never think about him again. It's crazy. I am not against if you're a lesbian, a gay person, a transsexual, or a bisexual, or whatever. I don't care. I don't care what you are. I don't care if it's not affecting me, or it's not affecting my family, or it's not affecting the things that I'm doing. How you want to live your life, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm there talking to people, raising them up. When I spoke to you, if that person sees this, you know what I said to you and the things that I said. In fact, I'll say them again, and it's something that I tell everybody that's important. And I said something along the lines of what you say in your head, that voice that you have in your head, that voice, that monologue that you have in your head is the most important thing that you hear. And I said, you walk into that bathroom every day and you look at yourself and you say, I love you. You are beautiful. You are worthwhile. You are strong. You're an individual, and I love myself, and other people love me. I am worthwhile. I am strong. I am creative, and I can do anything. I could do anything. I advocated for reaching to God, but if that's your thing, hey man, I don't make up the rules. It just says it in the book. All right, so whatever. I said that you should thank God and say thank you, God, for all the things I have. I have things. So I don't know where all of this. Let's have a funeral for Michael Graves because he's become this white supremacist, nationalist, Nazi person that hates everybody. It's absolutely crazy. It's senseless. You are ruining our country, you're ruining our society, you are ruining our communities, you're ruining yourselves as well. You're destroying yourselves by by immersing yourself in this energy and taking part of what you are taking part in. And you are taking part of something. You are. And all the proof is here. By putting out what you put out, all of you, even your commenters, everybody that's written me these horrible emails, my ex-bandmates, all of you, Howie, Loki, you have created a record of where you stand and what you stand for and what you stand against, and let that record be shown and let it be known, and that it's there. It is. But I have every right as well, and again, like I've pussyfooted around it. I don't want to talk on the phone. I don't want to hear what anybody has to say. You want to talk about opinions and stuff? Well, I can set it up. But I don't want to hear about anything else. Because all of that is done. All of that is in the past. It's a new friggin' day. It is a new day. There is a new path being set. And if any of you have the audacity to think, or the ego to think, or some sort of ignorant, I don't know, perspective coming out from who the hell knows where, to think that my career is over, that I've just faded away somehow, you really do not know who I am, and you have no idea what I've been through, and obviously you don't know what my past is, because coming up against, I'm the underdog. Like Rocky's my story, man. I'm always the underdog. Always. And by my good nature, by my principles, my integrity, my values, the things that my mom has taught me, and my dad, who's a cop. I know I was born privileged and all. Growing up where I grew up, in white privileged Dumont, New Jersey, I know that disqualifies me from a lot of things, but there's one thing I'm a fighter, and I am in league with and in business with a whole bunch of other fighters, a whole network of people. I jokingly call that we're the island of misfit toys. All of us that have been tossed aside and canceled and demonized and attacked. They're all in the phone, baby. They're all in the phone. If you think that social media and Twitter and punk rock and horror punk against racism, you think horror punk, most of you guys don't know shit about punk rock. You don't know anything about punk rock. You really don't. You're a bunch of metalheads that have somehow crossed over into the punk rock realm, and you don't know anything about it because you never really cared to. And that's okay too. But the whole world is not punk, horror punk, or all this other crap that everybody thinks that they're a part of. And if it is, I want no part in that community. I want no part in this world that you've built, that you're building, that I'm obviously not welcome in. So, it's truly what the Proud Boys are actually a multiracial and LGBT-friendly group. A decent majority of the Proud Boys are non-white members. That's weird. Right? That's a weird thing. It's truly a group of men who want to gather together, celebrate the West, drink some beer, and do manly things like hunt, fish, run, lift weights, train, shoot guns, box, and bullshit. Drink beer, play rock and roll, loud music, I don't know, kick things, throw rocks at things. Just be boys. Boys will be boys, and Proud Boys like being boys. We like hanging out and doing stuff like that. It is interesting that a male fraternity gets so much flack for simply meeting and protecting other people. Go figure. I'm looking for something as I do this here. Yeah, a male fraternity that gets so much flack for simply meeting and protecting other people. Now remember, I know it wasn't too long ago where I said it, but me doing this and saying that I was a Proud Boy and writing, maybe it was the caps. That might have been it. I wrote in caps that I was a proud Western chauvinist, wouldn't apologize for creating the modern world. I wrote it all in caps, and maybe that's what made everybody so mad. I'm not sure. Maybe. I don't know. Where are those things that I wanted to show? In general, the Proud Boys are a group chronically misrepresented and painted as evil, racist, and negative. They bring a sense of unity to conservatives. They bring a voice to the declining population of alpha males in the West. They are diverse, and they have a goal to remain patriots and nationalists fighting for the best of their respective nations all across the West. I encourage people to take a look at the group for themselves. So do I. I encourage you to take a look at the group yourselves. Maybe reach out to them if you want to know about them. Not hard to get in touch with. I'm not hard to get in touch with. I've been saying what I'm about all along. I've been going on 2 hours now. I hope you're getting a better understanding. Proud Boys are diverse, and they have a goal to remain patriots and nationalists fighting for the best of their respective nations all across the West. This author, and Michael Graves, encourages people to take a look at the group for themselves and talk with some of their members to get a feel for what they really believe in, while mainstream media doesn't bother to investigate because it doesn't fit their narrative. There's a lot to be discovered. Hopefully, they continue to celebrate excessive patriotism and fervent nationalism and bring people together while protecting and supporting their respective countries. Proud of you, boy. There you go. Let me read this as well. That's one of the Proud Boys that does memes created. I love this. You call us racists. We scratch our heads. You call them black, Hispanic, and people of color. We call them our brothers. You parade minorities as pet mouthpieces. We embrace them as family. You call it hate speech. We protect your right to defame us. You call us nationalists. We say charity starts at home. You claim to support human rights, but we've watched you destroy the family. You call us vigilantes. We watched as Ferguson was burning. We are the Proud Boys, and we will never apologize. I will never apologize for anything that's behind us right now in the past. I will not apologize for any of it. In fact, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm going to play you this Greg Reese. I'm going to play you this Greg Reese report, and then I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to wrap it up. This isn't long, but it's important. This is important to see at the end, so don't go anywhere. If you're watching, if you're listening, I'm almost done. Thank you for tuning. Excuse me. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for listening to me tonight. There'll be more of this. Subscribe to the YouTube, however you're watching. Subscribe to it, please. Ameripalooza. I'm going out on my acoustic tour. I'm also a music man. I know a lot of you know that. I'm not looking at the comments, and I'm not answering the things that you might be asking or saying on any of these platforms because I can't see it because of what the platform that I'm using. I'm going to play you a report from Greg Reese from band.video. Go to band.video and check check things out over there. Forbidden information. So I've been run out. All of this has happened to me through all this canceling stuff. I've gone over all of the things that have been said about me, what I've been charged with. I'm the Nazi white supremacist guy. All these guys have left me. The band has left me. This mob of people, all of everybody has taken their side because I've spoken out, and I continue to speak out against Black Lives Matter and Antifa. I think that it's a bad thing. I think that it's a bad thing for our community, for everything, for our country. I keep telling you, it's the epitome. All of this, even separate from Black Lives Matter and Antifa, the spirit, even if people aren't necessarily associated with those organizations, the ganging up on me and the memes that have come out against me and the reasons that people have walked away from me, the reasons that have been given in public, and all of the commenters, all of the memes, all of the agents and the promoters and the other bands and the other band members and people that have said all of these things about me and have taken the side. Let me show you the side that you have taken and what the consequences are of that. And the world that is being built by that spirit of things that you have signed onto, and that you have accused, and by accusing me of these things that I am not guilty of, that I have never been guilty of, that none of these people nobody that I'm working with right now or in the past have ever been a part of. This is the world, and these are the organizations and the ideas and the spirit that you have signed on to. This is a report by Greg Reese. Band.video.
Black Lives Matter is a lie. There is no genocide of young, innocent black men. In 2019, there were only 10 cases in which unarmed African Americans were fatally shot by the police. In 5 out of 10 cases, and 10 cases, and 10 cases, and 10 cases, and 10 cases, act just before the shooting. And in 2 of the remaining 4, the officer was criminally charged. Where is the injustice? Also in 2019, there...
All right, that didn't work out so good. What is going on with the video plays back? All right, we're going to try this again at some point here. Yeah.
25 unarmed white Americans who were fatally shot by the police.
This happened last night.
According to FBI, African Americans make up only 13% of the population. They commit over 50% of all murder in America. Blacks kill 10 times the amount of whites as whites kill blacks. And a police officer is 18 and a half times more likely to be killed by a black male than an unarmed black male is to be killed by a police officer. Black Lives Matter has been a lie since its very beginning. In 2013, the movement began on social media after the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. But the case against Zimmerman was a lie. The prosecution had used an imposter as a fake witness, who they claimed wrote the only piece of criminal evidence they had, a letter that the fake witness admitted under oath to not writing. Founded by known communists and fueled with millions of dollars from George Soros, Black Lives Matter organized riots in Ferguson, Baltimore, and Chicago, and began recruiting an army of haters, hiding beneath the guise of social justice. The entire foundation of Black Lives Matter is an obvious lie, and yet the lie sells. It sells because communities have been broken by government programs such as LBJ's War on Poverty that incentivized single motherhood and got young people hooked on welfare handouts. It sells because people worship their favorite celebrities like false idols and believe the media is a source of undisputed truth. It sells because people are afraid of being called a racist, even when they know it's a lie. And it sells because many prefer their own rage over seeking the truth. Following the COVID-19 shutdown, perhaps the most traumatizing time for any American alive, Black Lives Matter joined forces with Antifa and used a senseless murder as an excuse to wage war upon the American people, dragging innocent people from their cars, burning homes to the ground, looting everything in sight, and demanding that white people bow before them and kiss their feet. They are subjugating white people, parading them around in chains, and demanding the dissolution of the police department. What do you suppose is coming next? Black Lives Matter is a dangerous cancer that is poisoning our already damaged society. The mainstream media, our elected officials, world leaders, and practically every multinational corporation are all on board with BLM. But the real problem is that...
I don't know why that stopped right there, but you're starting to get the picture, aren't you?
We allow the lie to exist when all we have to do is be brave, tell the truth, and seek justice. In the end, we will get exactly what we deserve. For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
Infowars, tomorrow's news today.
Aerodyne.
All right, that was a report by Greg Reese, band.video. You can go to band.video and check out all of Greg Reese's reports. Just go to band.video and look on the left-hand side for all of the contributors to band.video. Find Greg Reese, click on that and check it out. And while you're there, check out everything else. You can also go to Infowars.com, check out the information there, Infowars.com, Infowarsstore.com for all sorts of products and stuff like that. All right, this is Radio Deadly. I'm Michael Graves. So there it is. That was a great report. I'm not down with that. You know, I'm not signing on to that. I refuse to go where all that's going. I refuse to go where they want to bring us. While I have your attention here, one more. Let's do one more. Let's see if I have it. I think this is it.
In multiple videos, we have seen Black Lives Matter strategically stop traffic of innocent locals just going about their business. We have seen drivers assaulted for asking to be allowed passage. And we have seen drivers ripped out of their car and beaten by an angry mob. Made possible with the support of mainstream media, this seems to be part of BLM's strategy. Stop traffic, attack innocent citizens in their cars, provoke a survival response, then accuse the driver of being a white nationalist. Beneath the recent NPR headline, "Vehicle Attacks Rise as Extremists Target Protesters," was an image of a car hitting a protester. But in a video from the same incident, we see an innocent driver who was stopped, harassed, and barely escaped being ripped out of their car before escaping and hitting a protester who was charging at them. After being called out for fake news, NPR offered no retraction. Instead, they wrote, "The photo does not appear to be an example of the assaults described in the story," and changed it to a 3-year-old image from Charlottesville. NPR is not only telling dangerous lies, they are also telling its huge audience that if you don't submit to accepting a beating from the mob, then you will be accused of being an extremist and a racist. The leadership of Black Lives Matter is openly Marxist.
We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories.
They say that white people have to die for black communities to be made whole.
Some white people may have to die. I'm confused on why that's so controversial.
They admit that there is no plan other than destruction, and that the destruction is what will fuel the black minds to recreate a new world. The full-on destruction of America is underway. Violent racial attacks against white people are being celebrated on social media as some sort of social justice. But any sane, reasonable mind understands that this only serves to frighten, divide, and enrage the people. History is being destroyed before our very eyes, and the movement is now calling for the destruction of Christian churches. And nothing is being done to stop any of it. It seems as if most Americans would rather surrender their freedom than be called a bad name. But a person who fears another man's judgment can never be free. For Infowars.com, this is Greg Reese.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's the world that you want to build. I'm not into that. I'm standing. I won't apologize for any of it. That's not the world that I'm interested in creating. That's not what I stand up for. And that's not who I'm with. I'm with good folks. Yeah. All right. So thank you very much, everybody. Band.video. If you want to see more Greg Reese. Incredible reports and information. Way smarter than I could ever imagine to be. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you learned a lot tonight. And I'll be back sooner than you probably want me to.